Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast. This is podcast 116. We got some Euro talk, we got some Sporting talk. Always joined by my main man, Christian. Christian, what's going on, bro?
I'm doing good. Portugal gave us a little bit of a nervy performance the other day, so I'm glad they were able to pull the result out in the end, make it comfortable. Obviously, still riding high off the title, even though it's been a couple weeks now. I don't think the sensation's ever gonna get old. And since the last pod we've had even some more conquests that we'll get into.
Facts. We'll start off with Twitter questions, which also brings up some of those conquests, but we'll go right into modalidades right after. But some Twitter questions. All right, let's start with Richard here. He asks, all we need is 2 draws for the next 2 games to go through. Who's ready for another classic Fernandes masterclass? Shout out to Richard, who does the thumbnails. Follow him at Richard_N7.
Hey, maybe we may even be able to get through with only 1 draw out of the last 2 games. So I mean,
I've been saying 4 points should be more than enough.
We should house one on
Saturday.
It should be good, I think. We should house a 0-0 on Saturday. We should be.
It's still going to be tough, I think, the Germans.
Yeah, it should be tough. I think that is
which would be perfect
easier of the 2 games remaining.
Yeah, I guess. But I also think if France wins Hungary, which they should, I think they'll feel a weakened team against us.
The other 2
it depends, though.
The other 2 teams are definitely going to beat Hungary. They were not. I was not impressed, like in the slightest. Even with the home crowd, like they were shite. Like they're not going to. Maybe they snatch a point against like Germany, but like even weakened teams, I would still feel confident in 3 points. Like Portugal really should have taken care of them earlier.
Yeah, facts, and we'll get into that. Next question comes in from Paul Rodrigues at Paul J. Rod. He asks, what are your thoughts on Jovan and João Mario? Will they both leave? Sporting seem close on transfer agreements. Who do you guys want to keep? We'll keep the Jovan and João Mario thing at the back burner because we will get into the transfer rumors that have all been going on. But in terms of who do you want to keep, who do you think is essential for us, Christian?
Out of those 2?
In the team in general.
In general, the one that scared me the most from the jump was Palhinha, and it's been relatively chill on the Palhinha front, which it's only June, right? Much time remains, but I've been very happily pleased to not see his name every 5 seconds, which I honestly thought could be the case. There was one to Napoli maybe 2 days ago, but they were intimidated by the 30 million price tag. So good. Be intimidated by that, you pussies.
Facts. Next one comes in from Nuno Gabriel at Cativalins. He asks thoughts on the futsal team's performance in the Liga Placard final. The game we lost was pure refereeing bullshit. The Lamb should have been swept, but we still won. Campeões, caralho. So let's talk a bit futsal right now. You know, obviously we won the title against Benfica. What were your thoughts on the final game? We won 6-2 if I'm not mistaken, right? A Ziki goal, and a few others that I can't remember. But anyways, take it away, bro.
I mean, it was very, very convincing. The futsal team is crazy because, like, if you think about the last European champion team versus this European champion team, like the current team, like I feel like the previous European championship team had bigger names and was like probably a more expensive team. Like I think that there's like the youngsters in the team this year, the guys that stayed, the guys that have like held over. I mean, Cardinal was out like for like since like the early spring at least, right? All of this has happened without him. Like they've got a lot, like 3-4 like really good young players that are just like stepped up, like, and not only stepped up like in a similar way to the seniors did this year. Like that would not have been possible if like 4 young players did not play like really good consistently. Yeah, and they were able to win the quintuple, which I do not believe that the previous European champions did. They did not do the quintuple. They were league champions as well, but I don't know if they won the other 2 cups as well. Someone can fact check that.
Are we sure? I think wasn't it that year that we won the European Championship? We didn't win the league.
That's possible as well.
I could be mistaken, but I feel like that might have happened. But anyways,
yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts. I'm glad Gita is coming back. Tainan probably isn't though.
Yeah, which I guess and Russia as well, right?
Yeah, and Russia. Tainan, you could see Tainan was decisive in those European games. Like his experience, like he doesn't always stand out in the league games because we're usually outclassing any team we're playing and we have a lot of bodies. But like Tainan really stood out to me in those European games in a way that he like doesn't usually stand out against like Lyon Sport Salve or something. That's not even like the worst team, but like it's just a random team that came to my mind.
and
it's actually a pretty good team. That's like the 4th best team, I think.
Yeah. And quick, your thoughts on that the goal that wasn't a goal. That was a goal, but Benfiquistas are saying wasn't a goal. What did you think about that?
Oh, in game 3?
In game 3 or 4, yeah. I think it's the one that Nuno's referring to that was pure bullshit, because it was. I think we ended up losing that game, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that was the game that we won, I think. I think this was game
we did
3.
win. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I could see why the ref called it a goal in the game, because like if it's not in by like that like a fucking millimeter in real time, if the ball's not in by a millimeter, like the ref like can't really see it. It looks like it's all the way in, you know. But there's one angle that it honestly looks like it's like not fully in. So I would say image is inconclusive. You got some angles showing in, some angles showing out. Call on the field stands. Goal.
Agreed. I agree. Next question. We'll take it from the chat, actually. It's from our boy Dave Pereira, who we'll see July 31st at the Supertaça. He asks, should the transfer window be closed prior to the first match? Or should it continue for the first few weeks? England did it, by the way. England did it the last 2 seasons before the season. So you think Portugal should adopt that?
I think it would be better, because basically what it would prevent and because what happens is like the deals stall out with other countries, but then they still have like the internal market for 2 weeks. And that's how you end up with like Lumord and shit, because you just like panic buy a random like in league player that like you have like no intention of, other than like for 4 months he'll be a backup. That's all you know, and then you end up with some guy in the books infinitely for like 4 years. I think it would force everyone to get their shit together earlier, and yeah, I think it would improve. Like your roster set in the first week. Like I don't think it's that absurd. We're used to it like not being like that, so it would take a little bit of getting used to. But like it feels like that's the way it should be. Like when the season starts, you have one opportunity again when it opens in January. But you know, when it starts, like your roster's locked. You can't tinker your fantasy team after the season starts or after the games start. You know,
that's true. Yeah, I hear that. I think it's good the way it is, to be honest. Or if they do that, then extend like the January transfer market. I think make it at least a little longer, or at least entice teams to make more transfers in that time. Because it is like the season will start and like maybe certain plugs aren't filled that you're not aware of because you're not playing like competitive games. It's just friendlies.
Yeah. Or someone gets hurt or whatever. Yeah, like what you're counting on doesn't happen, basically.
Exactly. But then at the same time, then you have the Bolasie, Jose Rodriguez, and who else did we get?
To be fair, yeah, there is still panic buys even when the market has a hard close. Exactly. Because those guys are external and they are still panicked. So.
But shout out to Dave Pereira. Next question comes in from still Nuno Gabriel. He asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate Fernand's choice in the starting 11? as well as the timing of the subs he made. An unknown underscore DG at DG unknown rates it a 5. I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate the lineup a 7 maybe. I'll give the subs like a 6 or a 5 because I think it could have been resolved sooner. But what did you think, dude?
Yeah, a lineup was like a 5 or a 4, and subs worked out, but they could have been done, I thought, sooner. So I'll give him an 8 on the subs because they were, for the most part, good. And it also made me realize how we literally have no depth on the wings. So, like, get used to Rafa coming in because he's literally going to come in 2/3 of the games, like literally maybe all of them. Maybe he'll start some of them. Like, there's no other fucking wingers. He's not going to play Potts. So, yeah, it's literally Rafa. So, get used to Rafa.
To be fair,
he was a wanker when he first came in. He's trying to meg dudes, turns it over like 2-3 times instantly. But yeah, he tries to take a guy on, like knocking it around him. Doesn't even come close. Like, he definitely did not light it up. But he was decisive in like 2-3 moments, and they led the goals. So
credit to him. But yeah, I agreed. But hopefully he'll bring on Pot though. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. Well, we'll see, I guess.
I mean, literally the roster is playing in his favor because like there's not that many guys that could play like out wide, and like Potts, like he could play in the middle or out wide, but in the middle they've got hella bodies: Neves, Oliveira, Bruno, Danilo, William. Like Pop is like 7th on the depth chart to ever go on in the middle, but on the sides he could get some burn.
Exactly.
Pelinha is like 7th on the depth chart.
He didn't even make the bench.
Yeah, dude, that's how low he's on the depth chart. Literally no one is lower on the depth chart than Pelinha right now, unfortunately.
Maybe Dalot, just underneath them, you know? Because he just showed up. Next question comes in from Steph. Shout out to Steph who couldn't make it today at Steph01 Jewel 1906. Give him a follow, of course. He brings 2 questions. First one, who do you foresee being the tournament MVP and best goal scorer? I think best goal scorer has to be Lukaku, I think. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, that's a good shout. He's gonna get like 5 in the group stages probably. So you come out of the group stages with 5, even if you don't win the whole thing, you still put yourself in a pretty good position. Did Kane score? No, Kane didn't score.
Not yet. No, Raheem scored a goal.
Yeah, so
might get one tomorrow though against.
I do. I think I like Lukaku because I like their odds of at least reaching the semis, so it's going to give him like almost the max amount of games. Yeah, I think Lukaku is a good shot.
And an MVP, I think that goes to whoever wins, but
yeah,
let's just throw it out there, and hopefully the universe will catch on. CR7,
yeah,
the MVP.
I mean, if CR7 could be a shout for leading scorer, he's bagged 2. He's bagged 2 in the easiest game, so I'm sure he's thrilled with that. To be honest, maybe he'll bag 1 more, so he'll come out of the group stage with 3. I back Ronaldo to score 6 in the best case scenario.
That's really good. Last Euros he only scored 3, so 6 would not be a bad shot. Would not be bad at all. Next question from Steph for the upcoming Portuguese games. Which results do you expect? So Portugal against Germany and then Portugal against France. I'll go with let's go Germany first. I'm going to go with a 1-1 or a 0-0, but I think it's going to be a draw. What about you?
0-0. Unfortunately,
though I would love a win because I remember I think the Germans World Cup.
Are the Germans gonna? The Germans are not really in a chill position though because they really can't lose. Actually, they could lose because they still have the Hungary game in the back pocket to get 3rd place. But like, yeah, they might play more aggressively. So if they play more aggressively, it's definitely going to mean we're going to play more defensively. And I'm not that convinced we're like super dynamic on the counter, to be honest. But we'll see.
On in terms of the
It
lineup,
depends on what the lineup is. Yeah.
yeah. You know what? I wouldn't mind the same midfield that we started the game with. I think the midfield we should have started against Hungary was instead of William, and I'll ask you a question that Jose asked in a second, but instead of William, maybe play Renato because Renato came on and done well. But at the same time, I think about it, and if we can bring on Renato as well to give us a different dynamic off the bench, I'm not mad at that either. I think that'll be a decent weapon against Germany.
I literally thought Sergio Oliveira even would have been better.
Good point. Yeah,
against Hungary, to be honest. Like,
yeah, good point.
Danilo was kind of pissing me off, bro. Like,
I don't mind him, but yeah,
he settled into the game for sure. But those first 30 minutes, it literally, like, he's been playing at PSG, right? Like, he's not been maybe an every game starter, but he's been playing regularly, starting or off the bench. Like, dude, it looked like he was maybe he was just really nervous, but like he literally looked rattled. Like, his passing was like so shitty, and he looked like uneasy on his feet, like his left foot. Like, I don't know, dude. It just looked weird. But yeah, he got a little bit better, thankfully.
Yeah, agreed. Even Jota had such a bad game.
Jota had a bad game, but at least he was putting himself in dangerous. Like, dude, you're
not wrong.
Well, he's going to be super important. If Portugal does anything, Jota's going to need to pop because super thin in that position and need some goals. He scored 2 goals in in that Serbia game. Like, someone needed to score some goals. We need people to step up and score goals, and we need him.
Yeah, that front four I think has to be our front four for every single game. And if we get a result against Germany, okay, switch it up against France, but that front four has to be there every game.
Yeah.
And then result against Portugal, France. I'm leaning towards a Portugal win. After that performance, not saying it was great, but dominating. I like our chances of topping the group, to be honest. I didn't think France was anything too special against Germany. I mean, it was an own goal that really helped them win. Though they did score 2 or 3 offside, but
yeah, I mean, seeing Mbappe just fucking torch,
it's unreal.
It's he could play horrible the whole game, and it's just one ball that he just sprints onto, and that's all it takes, so that's the scary thing about that. I think but the thing is we could be playing France knowing that we're both in very good position. So I honestly back a draw in that game, 1-1, maybe against the France backups. But even if it's the French starters, I'm still going to back a draw.
I like that. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if we draw the next 2 games anyways. Next question comes in from Chip at Lauren Yano. She asks, who do you think will win the tournament? Who will win the Golden Boot? We answered that one. And then what changes would you make to the starting 11 against Germany? So yeah, what changes would you make to the starting 11 then?
I mean, I don't think Guerrero played bad enough that he's going to not start him. But it would be nice to have Nuno Mendes. I honestly think he might be better, at least defensively. And they both have their own little bag of tricks going forward. So that's not going to happen, but it would be cool. I mean, like I said, I wasn't really thrilled with Bernardo or Jota. Jota obviously has to start. Bernardo, I feel like his spot would be more up for grabs if there was literally anyone else to play instead of him. He's not, unless you want the Rafa start, which I don't really want. So I guess hands are kind of tied there.
I honestly think Pot can do a similar job to Bernardo. They're both wide players that love playing in. I mean, it's worth a shout. Will it happen? Definitely not. But I think it's worth a shout to have Pot in there instead of Bernardo. I think they do the same job. But yeah, I agree. I wasn't thrilled with him.
Yeah, and then it'll be Bruno and Ronaldo. I mean, it sucks that Andre Silva's kind of the odd man out. But if they're ever in a position where they need a goal, they're down a goal, they're chasing the game, he's got to come in every single time. He's a great aerial threat. He's the odd man out. So when you get in that situation, you got to go to him instantly, Like if they're down 1-0 at half or something, like bro, you don't need to wait till 70 to put him in, dude. Just get him in there. But yeah, we'll see if that situation arises. Honestly, there's not really much to change. Maybe you swap. I mean, like you said, like Danilo and William, like actually seems appropriate for this game
against Germany, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe like I feel like Neves is ahead of Oliveira. So if it's not Danilo, it would be Neves. So flip a coin on that one for me.
Yeah, agreed. And before we get to the last one, thoughts on Williams' game? 0 to 10. I don't think he was that bad, but he wasn't great either.
Exactly. No. But like, let's give him a goal point rating. That's like a 5.6. It's like average.
So goal point actually gave him a 6.1 too.
Okay.
So yeah, you're not. Yeah, I'd actually agree with that. A 6.1, 6.1 maybe to a 7. Like he wasn't horrible, but I've seen William play the game played way better. He also was
like he was put in a position where they're looking for a goal, and he's like in deep areas, just like a little. He's William, bro. Like he's
not that kind of player.
He's 20 yards. There was one time where it was 0-0, like 70th minute. The ball falls to him. It's on his left foot. He's like 28 yards out. It looks like he's gonna shoot it. Every time this motherfucker has ever taken a shot from out of the box, it's over the net. So I'm screaming at my TV, like, if you take this and it's on your weaker foot too, bro, I'm gonna fly to Budapest and beat the shit out of you, bro. But he didn't. He did not shoot it, thankfully.
Nah. And yeah, like you were saying on Josette's point about Andrés Silva, was he top? He was top goal scorer in Bundesliga, right?
Nah, second top.
Yeah. I mean,
by like 18 goals, but it's all good.
Yeah.
He doesn't count. That was some
second is still good.
Unhuman shit, yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, odd man out. Unfortunately, like there's no way. Who are we gonna drop? Jota for Andrés Silva and have Ronaldo out wide? I don't think so.
Ronaldo has to be up top, I think, because he's not playing. He's not gonna get back. Like he's just he's just up top, yeah.
And Fernando Santos said it himself. Like Ronaldo doesn't really offer us anything defensively, so
but
we're not going to ask him to.
He has like 2-3 bursts a game where he he actually won a slide tackle. Like that he like when he gets pissed. When he gets pissed, sometimes he like chases back. So yeah, that's about all you're gonna get out of him.
There's especially that one play where he kind of chop passes it because he thinks Bruno's beside him. Guy loses the ball and then he chases after him. Clear foul, by the way. I don't know how the ref didn't call that, but hey, play on. And then who was it? I don't know if that's then the opportunity that Jota kind of instead of dummies it, Bruno shows it, or if it was just a shot from somebody else. But it was decent from Ronaldo. Actually, I haven't seen Ronaldo fucking win a ball since his Real Madrid days, I think, or 2016. Like it's been a minute. And then last question from Steph and Lauren asked the same thing. Who do you think is European champions? When we had Con Murphy on, you said Portugal. 1 game in, still feeling that?
Yeah, we're still feeling good.
I feel a lot better now that Portugal at least beat Hungary. I feel better, so I'm feeling towards that. Though Italy is starting to scare me a little bit. The Italians are definitely scaring me a bit.
After the game on Saturday, we can start looking at the slots for who Group B. I think we're Group B, right? No,
it depends.
Whatever. So, you know how the bracket.
If we come in second, we face the Group B's first place.
But if we win, do we play a third place too?
If we win, we go basically on the other side of the bracket where we might see Belgium either in the quarters or semis. But it's the easier side of the bracket if things pan out as they should. So it depends. If we can get first, I think we can go all the way to
the last time we lucked out because we finished third, but we still got on the easy side of the bracket.
Exactly.
So it's random. Yeah, it depends how it plays out.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get back to Portugal in a little bit. But let's go back to our modalities, to our Sporting that I still miss so much, man. Fuck. Champions of Portugal, of course, but we've won some titles in the meantime. We've won basketball since the last time we spoke. controversy on that. I'd love to pick your brain. What are your thoughts on the that last play that gave us 2 fucking free throws that the Porto bench was fucking losing their mind on?
I mean, that's one of the worst basketball plays. Like, it's just a moment where I think he's literally lost his head and he's forgotten this situation. The Porto player that fouls Micah Downs. The original thing, what caused all of them to lose their shit. And I mean, I guess to them, it does. If you watched it from the other side of the court, it kind of looks like a foul. It looks like it could be a foul. But then once you slow it down, you see that he steps on his own foot. He's off balance. He's initially even off balance because he steps on his own foot. They probably think it's because whoever Trevante was guarding him, I think, stepped on his foot. But he literally didn't. And then he's off balance. And Eliezer comes in with a hand and touches the top of the ball. That really puts him off now because now he's off balance and the ball's wobbly in his hands, and just puts up a wild shot. Micah Downs gets the rebound. It's a tie game. There's 1 second left. That guy should have just not even touched him. He should have just
it's a rebound.
Maybe Micah Downs gonna throw the ball over his head the entire length of the court and drain a 3. No, he's not gonna do that. He's not even gonna. There's 1 second left. He's not even gonna have time to turn his body and get a shot up. Exactly. The fact that you're coming in like a maniac, slashing at the ball is so stupid. And that's literally why we won. He didn't need to do that at all. That game should have gone to overtime. But it didn't. And yeah, that whole game seemed very, very, I mean, I was on vacation for that game, so I remember I was just refreshing my phone every 2 seconds on record, the live match updates. We were down a lot of that game, down by 7, 8. There's 6 minutes left, down 8. It's down 6. It's we're kind of in trouble, and yeah, they ended up pulling it out. Wild,
crazy ending. And then my favorite thing was the story going around. It appears that it wasn't them, but the story going around that the Porto team actually ruined the fucking trophy.
Oh yeah,
that has to be. Yeah, that has to be the ugliest trophy I've ever seen in my life.
So shitty and so small.
Please get it. My men's league trophy is better than that shit. Come on, man.
Yeah,
ugly.
Yeah,
but whatever.
That guy's freak out. That guy's the coach slamming on the table. I mean, that video is gonna live on forever, bro. It's iconic.
And it's like you said, that anger has to be on his own fucking team. It's not on.
Yeah.
It can't be on the refs, man. I think that's actually a good call. To be fair, from the refs, the NBA can't make calls like that every day.
Yeah, it's dude. I mean, there's 1 second left, man. Dude, you can't. They're not gonna call a ticky tack shooting foul. I mean, it's the fucking finals, dude. And it's not even a foul to begin with. So it's
yeah, all ball. So yeah, shout out to the basketball boys. Big conquest in Portugal. Easily the best team in Portugal. Though Porto put up an incredible fight. I mean, we went to game 5. And the only other thing I have to say about that is similar to what Pinta Costa said, because literally a day maybe before that, they had fans in the Dragão for the Champions League final, but they couldn't have fans in the Pavilion for game 4 of the basketball game.
Not even just families.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not even just families. It's ridiculous. But yeah, shout out to the basketball boys. We mentioned futsal, but any lingering thoughts on futsal? Like you said, they won every single trophy available domestically and internationally with winning European championships. Any thoughts on that? Any rumors? Because there is a lot of players or a few exits on the team.
I mean, only time will tell if what's his face is joining. It seems like they had a pre-contract agreed. So, I mean, they're probably just waiting to make that official. I forget his name. What the fuck's his name? The Benfica guy who's on Braga now.
Miguel something.
Angelo.
Miguel something. There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess maybe we're signing Miguel Angelo, which is hilarious and dark.
And we'll get the transfer soon for the soccer team. but it was like almost in the same week that the futsal, I think futsal won, and people were talking about Miguel Angelo. We were linked to Carrillo for a little bit there too. I was like, what the fuck? Like, purposely doing shit to piss us off, if that was true.
Yeah, I mean, thank God it seems like Gita's coming back, but yeah, I guess Russia and Tainan are out. I mean, we better hope like some fucking club from Dubai doesn't say Ziki will pay you like $2 million a year and like 8 times his salary. Like,
then he's gone.
Yeah, or like or like Inter Movie Star, or like one of these Spanish clubs is like, all right, we're gonna tear it down, let's rebuild. So we can't compete with that. So I hope like we don't lose like any of the young guys. They all signed new deals. I think they probably upped salaries for sure, because they're probably on like nothing. But yeah, so hopefully that entices them for at least another 2 years, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like Benfica is going to strengthen their basketball team a lot. So I expect them to compete more next year. They weren't that bad this year.
They weren't bad.
But there seems like they're signing James Ellisor from Sporting.
Thoughts on that? And thoughts on the little Travante rant that it seems like he's defending his colleague, his friend there.
Yeah, Travante is defending his teammate for sure, which I understand. And honestly, if you look at it from their perspective, like
I was gonna say, yeah,
they're co-workers basically. That is the relationship that they had. It was their co-workers and probably friends. Like Travante, like we know that Travante is not going to stay forever. Travante is probably too good now. Like he could leave this offseason. Like if he was going to a club that's playing in like Eurobasket or something, like we couldn't even be mad because like he deserves to be playing at that level because he's literally good enough. So it's like if he leaves and goes to Benfica, it's like, you motherfucker, because that's a lateral move. But if he's going up, we can't be mad about that
at all. Yeah.
But yeah, I understand where he's coming from, but he's got to understand where we're coming from, which is like, we've supported the club before you were here. We're going to support it after you're here. That's our biggest rival. So like, doesn't play well with us, but I get why it doesn't, play well with you guys either. To have like, like in theory, like these people were just partying with you like 2 days ago, and now they're fucking telling you to go fuck yourself on social media, So I see both sides.
Yeah. It's also a different cultural perspective too, because I mean, Rajon Rondo, who's currently at the Clippers, like he just won a championship with the Lakers. You know what I mean? But it's not like it's different. It's different here. We don't necessarily hold the same like grudge towards teams maybe, or towards players for jumping ship to another team. Of course, maybe the stature of the club too, from that Rondo example, is different. But yeah, it's I think it's also a cultural thing that they might not be like clicking to. But yeah, the only other modalidades I can think of, and then I'll pass it back to you in terms of modalidades, is our women's team. I don't know if on the last podcast we ended up losing to Benfica. That final game we lost 3-0. It was after, I believe, too.
Yeah, I think it was after. Yeah.
So I mean, thoughts on and then thoughts on the game, and then thoughts on all of these. Inês Pereira left. Oh my God, I'm forgetting. Ana Capeta's leaving. I don't know if she announced the team yet. There's been quite a few. It's like been an exodus.
Ana Capeta signed for PSV Eindhoven.
Yes, that's what it was. You're right. Anyways, yeah, thoughts on that. Thoughts on Carly Baldwin is also leaving. I don't think she's
Nevena. So is Nevena Damjanovic,
the captain.
Yeah. Basically, probably like also Inês Pereira and Patricia Moraes both left. Both are number 1 and number 2 goalkeeper. Both Portuguese internationals left. But we did sign Diana Silva, I believe her name is.
Diana Silva. Yeah.
Who's also Portuguese international. So it's like your top 7 players out, 1 good player in. Like it's like that would have been a good reinforcement if you lose like 2 of those players. But yeah, they're going to need to completely rebuild the team. I don't know if it's a disinvestment from the women's team to either cut overall budget, to cut budget to put it somewhere else within the modalities. I don't know. I mean, you could only have to think it's just like an overall budget cut. Like they think that they can like be competitive enough, I guess, without them. But I mean, at least thankfully, like most of them haven't like gone signed for direct rivals, but like some of them have. Moraes signed for Braga. Inez went to Belgium or Switzerland, I think.
Serviette or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
The champions, I think it's Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland. Okay, yeah. So like, I'm glad there's still obviously like Nevena. I don't think I signed, or Baldwin. I don't know if I don't think she signed either anywhere. No, but dude, yeah, that whole shit was so weird, man. They just like put out a press release that they were terminating the contracts of like their 8 best players. Like,
yeah,
low key, like a little low key contract rescission of all our best players. Yeah, it's shocking. So I don't. Only time will tell over the next like 2 months what the actual plan is.
I think my theory, at least, of course, I'm not like a diehard women's fan. I watch here and there, and I accompany here and there. But I think it's seeing as we just signed this new coach who was from the youth team, and I've seen we've either signed 1 or 2 of the youth players to like a professional contract. I think Sporting is looking at what Ziki's been for the futsal team, and even some of the basketball players, and because Varandas has mentioned in the past as well that he wants that his modalities also rely on the academy, not solely the soccer team. So I think that might be what he's going for in terms of the women's team. Maybe he didn't want to renew their contracts because maybe he just thought, I think it's personally, yes, it's a disinvestment. Maybe, either dealing with COVID happenings or us being in the Champions League, maybe putting more of that money into the soccer team or putting more of that money into the stadium.
The thing is it's not. I mean,
it shouldn't be that much, right? Like it's
all
not
of them. All of that combined is probably $1 million. Those 7 salaries, maybe like 1.3 or something. It's not in the grand. It's a lot. Like it's not a negligible amount of money, but like it's not like, oh, we'll take that money and do something major with it. It's like it's not that much money, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I said the soccer. I don't think it's necessarily towards the soccer team, but like I said, like the seatings. If it does cost 2.2 million or 2 and something million for the seats to be all dark green, maybe that 1.3 is helping here and there, and then we're gonna look more towards our academy in terms of that. I think that's why maybe we signed this coach, who everybody's happy with. I'm not too familiar with, but it seems like it was a good idea. I mean,
it's definitely a price cut too, I imagine. Dude, 100%. I was joking that team photo, like the whole staff, like all 10 of them are all like under 33. It looks like. I was like, dude, this is the most millennial gang of all time. So I wish the trendy millennials who now lead the women's team the best of luck.
Best of luck. Facts. Yeah, take it away with the rest of the modalities that you might have, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, I basically just did season recaps of basically all the main modalities. I'll start with the most disappointing and work the way to the more interesting. So handball, not a good season. Made it out of the group for the EHF, but lost in the quarters. So like the first, or maybe it was even round of 16, whatever the first like knockout was, we didn't pass, and we finished second in the league. And the cup was canceled. So trophyless season. Women's, another trophyless season, or not another trophyless season for them. Another trophyless season for the club in modalities. Because it's rare that the women actually have a trophyless season. So no cup. Taça da Liga, lost in the final. League, lost the league on the last day. So disappointing season. And coach got canned. And so did every player. Bad. The U23s were asked this season. They didn't even finish in the top half of the league in the first half of the season, like to like qualify for like the second half like playoffs. So they were just playing like the like bullshit cup qualification second half of the season, and like they didn't even make that. So yeah, but I mean, I guess it's because like most of them were playing for the B team, or like the B team was very young, and the B team, while they did disappoint a little bit in missing out for playoffs for the second division, which would have been great to get back into the second league, I honestly, now that the playoffs have played out, I don't know if we would have made the second league. It would have been savage, and if we just started doing what Porto B was doing at the end of the season, and like for those games we have like fucking Plata and like Bragança and like all the like just like front loaded the like B team with like all these first team players that are like young still, and just like savage the Estrela da Amadora. but yeah. In the absence of that, I'm glad Estrela's up. That was our spot though. But you know, I'm glad they went up, and I'm glad we were able to still make the third league. At the very least. So yeah, I guess so. Next year it's about maintaining the third. You don't want to drop again. So just stay in the third league consistently, and you know, maybe fight for promotion even some years.
Yeah.
And then the B team, I just said them. Hockey and patins. So that's actually still ongoing. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. One more win wins it. And we're also European champions in roller hockey. We beat Porto in the final. So we could do the dirty double over Porto. I think the game is this weekend, the 20th, whenever that is. I presume that's like Saturday. Futsal, quintuple, obviously. Basketball, league champions, cup champions, and league cup runners up. So not the treble. Missed out on the treble by one game. Also, this was interesting when I was looking this up. Sporting basketball actually honestly had like one of the most disappointing runs of any sporting team in Europe recently, where they lost all three of their games and did not make it out of the group stage. Funny enough, two teams that were in their group, BM Slam, who I believe was a Polish team, and Ironi Nes Ziona, the Israeli team, played each other in the final. And
oh shit,
Ironi Nes Ziona won. So two teams that Sporting lost to were the finalist and champion. So I guess in hindsight, it makes those losses in the group stage seem less disappointing. But at the same time, like Sporting could have won literally both of those games. So like they're not so far off in Europe if they can bring back like a lot of the team. Sign those two guys from Immortal, like run it back, you know?
Yeah. Facts. That's actually a good showing.
What else do we have? Volleyball, third place in the league, and Portuguese Cup champions, which was like a very good conquest against Benfica, who was clearly the best team. So the cup title is a great season for volleyball. Now these are just some random ones that I was able to encounter. I wasn't able to compile everything, all the women's as well. Like it was tough. But I got the women's rugby league champions 4 in a row. Table tennis league champions 6 in a row. Goalball league champions 5 in a row. And goalball is going to be playing in the European Championships because they're multi-European champions as well for goalball. And it's like in September. It was supposed to be this summer. It was supposed to be in June, but because COVID, now it's in September. It's in Portugal at the Pavilion Odivelas. So like Sporting will be like, you know, playing host to the European tournament. So like hopefully they can win that as well, because I know they've won that before multiple times. And yeah, that's the modalities wrap up.
Sweet. Take us through these rumors now, dude.
Chess. Sorry, Richard. Did we win the league when I said that one time? What prompted me to say that one time? It must have been important. It wasn't like, oh, they won this weekend, because like I don't think the chess news like that makes the run of the mill news. Like they had to have been like league titles. So I'm pretty sure they're champions, but I'll be sad.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah, I'll be sad if they're not.
Philippe saying pesca desportiva. But anyways, dude, take us through these transfer rumors too, because they've been it's been one hell of a summer so far.
All right, I'll just
no signings, no sellings either so far.
I'll just fire them off, starting with like more obscure and working our way to more relevant. Ronnie Lopes, briefly linked. Haven't heard anything since. Gonna say that.
I didn't believe it the moment it was announced either. So
Yangel Herrera, who's a Man City centered defensive mid who was on loan at Granada last year. So he's like in the Man City permanent loan pipeline. Anyone in the Man City permanent loan pipeline is definitely a possibility at any point, and a new name could pop out of nowhere and be a very legit rumor at any point. So I'm not going to discount him, but I will say I haven't seen anything in like at least 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas and Mecca. I'm going to say it's probably pronounced Mecca. Mecha?
It was Mecha, I think, or some shit. Oh, fuck. I was listening to the commentator in the under 21.
The N is usually silent, I feel like.
I think it's Mecha. I think it's Mecha.
Mecha. Right. Okay. Lucas Mecha is another name who's in the Man City loan pipeline. He was on loan at Anderlecht last season. He's a U21 Euro champion. He scored some goals there. I haven't heard anything in like 2 weeks again. Same with him. Like, I guess he'd be a good signing on paper. We need a striker. But it seems like he's going to be on the more expensive side. And again, maybe it would be a loan anyways, but I think it depends on Man City, like renewing his contract as well.
He had 1 year left, if I'm not mistaken. His contract expires 2022. So we might, with that being said, we might have him on the cheaper side if he does look at Man City like, it's not a possibility really for me to play here, so I might as well just get a loan and move out afterwards. So I think there might be some possibility there, especially seeing as we've made good business in terms of with Poru with them. I think it all depends if we sell them Nuno Mendes. I think that's the big puzzle piece here. Yeah, because if Nuno Mendes doesn't go to City, I don't see why they would want to give us Mecha or any other good player after the success we've had.
I see some City fans commenting on our stuff, like they like Mecha. I'm like, dude, he's not gonna be in the team like next year.
Yeah, he's getting over.
There's no scenario that like he's in the team. Like, yeah, Aguero's out, so like they're gonna fucking sign fucking Haaland. Like, it's not gonna
Harry Kane.
It's not gonna be Mecha that fills that role. Like,
absolutely not. And he can also play as like a winger. Like, what is he going to take over Phil Foden? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
Dude, there's like literally no scenario where he's on Man City next season. So like, they can dream, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't either. But I would love for him to come to Sporting. I think that would be an ideal signing for us. Well, only time will tell.
Trincao would be great. Take him on loan in a heartbeat. But again, gone cold as well on that one. Brief mention of longtime target Lionco, but again, nothing in 2 weeks. Maybe it depends. I remember actually reading like Luis Neto decision expected in coming days. That was also like 2 weeks ago. So like, if he wasn't coming back, I feel like we'd know by now. Maybe not. I don't know. So I guess that is dependent on other things, but haven't heard anything. Ozaze Ergohid, the Sheffield Wednesday center back. He was linked briefly. Again, nothing in a couple of weeks. This one is about a 6-month-old rumor. Vando Felix, he plays winger for Les Songes. He's been linked to Sporting for at least 6 months, but there's still no deal done yet. So I guess we'll keep tracking that one. I feel like that one's of the things that I've said so far, he's probably the most likely to happen and who'd probably be for like the B team for next season. Anyway, so it's not like that would affect really the first team. What else do we have? Samuel Portimonense, goalkeeper. I guess that's dependent. Right? That we can link to an outgoing rumor. Max has been linked to multiple teams in Italy, and he has been linked to Italian teams in the past as well. Do you think Max could be out for in like the 3 to 5 million range? I guess if Max is out, we'll probably buy some in-league goalie.
Or we'll just have the other kid be back up, to be honest. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Diogo, I think it is. No. Andre
Paulo.
Andre Paulo.
Dude, I don't know if that's like the backup I want to go into the season with.
I wouldn't either, but I wouldn't put it past them to do that.
Cost saving, bro. That's how you save the budget, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what else we got? Okay, we're slowly working our way into that. We've been slowly getting more relevant. Marcus Edwards, heavily linked for. That's more recent, like a week ago. Heavily linked.
Yeah.
Some sites even saying you got formal offers done.
Yeah.
Offers submitted, deal done. Record kind of came in with the fire extinguisher like 3-4 days ago and said that they're considering him. So like, yeah, they're considering him is very different from like the deal is done and he signed it. So yeah, I guess it's worth to keep tracking. He feels expensive to me. He feels like it feels like if you're gonna spend 10-12 mil, like you can do better than that in external leagues, or it'll put you in a range where you can get better players from external leagues that are like pricey. But like 10, that's a lot of fucking money. Like
that is a lot of money.
And it wasn't even for 100% either, I don't think.
I mean, but that's the way we do business nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not 50%, we don't want it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's an exaggeration from Marcus Edwards. He's good. I'm not saying the kid isn't good, but 12 million, unless he's going to be our stage.
Someone will pay. If you could get an English team to bring him back, they will pay 12 million for him. But Sporting
for an English team.
Yeah, but Sporting cannot pay 12 million. You know?
Exactly. And I asked this question, okay, we spent 12 million on the kid. He can play on either flank. I think he's played more on the right. But if he can play on the left, do you put him ahead of Nuno Santos? I don't.
You kind of have to.
But I don't. Would you put him ahead of Pot?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, 12 million for what, man? I'd rather a guarantee in that case.
Manuel Ugarte, Uruguayan Famalicão midfielder. That deal honestly seemed like it basically was done, and now it's cooled off to the point where I don't think the rumor is dead, but I don't think it's as close as it once was. So yeah, that one's. But also, it's like I know George is like doing other business right now, so like getting Ugarte signed and completed is not on the George Men's list, top of the list right now. That's like priority number fucking 50 for him because he can fly into Portugal and get that done in like 25 minutes. So he's doing like his other shit. He's got Ronaldo to sort. Like he's got Nuno Espírito Santo he's trying to place right now. Like he's doing other shit right now. So I feel like that's one that he knows that he can just do real quick. So that's why like I'd say it's not dead by any means. It's just like not happening like this week or Ruben Vinag, same thing. He's got more suitors, but again, I just think it's like George is sorting other stuff right now. And it will be like that's the kind of thing where it's like it could be a double signing day, you know, and they're both unveiled on the same day, you know. But I would love Ruben Vinag. I think both of those guys will probably be on the pricier side, like, and probably not 100%, like 7 for 50 and 5 for 50. Seems like that's like the range of the price. So yeah, I guess that is what it is. Like 12 between the two of them. But if you don't, now we're working our way. If you don't sign João Mario, then Ugarte maybe becomes more of a priority because it seems like the João Mario deal is heavily stalling out. Hugo Viana is in Italy just being an absolute savage, bro. The dude does not give a fuck. So yesterday it was reported that Sporting have been talking about João Mario for like weeks. They've been months. Like even before the season was over, I'm sure that they were having informal talks like we want to make this permanent. Like they have probably the sporting director at Inter Milan has probably talked to Hugo Viana like 50 times in the last 6 months, you know? Like they have each other's fucking numbers, they just text each other probably. And they've probably been negotiating this deal. Like, and to be fair, Sporting has brought the price down because like it was like 10, then it was 9, then it was like 8.5. it seems like they finally settled on 7.5.
Exactly,
Came to a verbal agreement of 7.5. So Sporting did get the price down a little bit, but they basically came to an agreement of 7.5 like 3 days ago. Sporting presents their first formal offer, and it's for 3.5 plus 2 with objectives. And Inter's like, yo, we literally had a deal, dude. Like, we came to a deal. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you guys kidding me? Like, this isn't the deal. Like, this is half of the deal. Like, send a real offer or like we're done here. So now Sporting is like, they're gonna have to pay, or they're literally just gonna say, we'll just sell him for 7.5 to someone else. Like,
facts.
We don't need to sell him to Sporting. It's like, yeah, it's like that would be nice for João, but like we like money and we need money. Inter is like in financial dire right now. Like they're not just gonna be nice to Sporting.
Exactly.
You know?
They don't owe him shit either. They cost him 40 million.
Yeah, they're taking a 30 mil L on him regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, it's either pay or he's gone. So it seems like those are the discussions right now, and they're hesitating, which means they were not fully sold. They weren't fully sold, and they are still not fully sold. Because if they were fully sold, this would be done already. The deal would be done, and the amount would be paid, or the payment plan would be set up. But it's not
at all. Yeah.
So they're not sold. They value him at 3.5, which is what I value him at. To be fair, their valuation is identical to mine, but they're not going to sell him. So find someone else. That's how it works. But we'll see what happens.
Let me see what transfer market has in us real quickly. Just out of curiosity.
Dude, it's not 7.5. There's no fucking way. Probably like 4.5 or 5. But he probably had a high value.
Million.
Yeah, euros or dollars.
Euros.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What was his peak valuation? It's probably because it's fallen from so high.
It's
probably like at 45 at its peak.
It was 20. It was 20 June 1st, 2016.
Damn, that's so he's only all these seasons sitting at Inter, like going to Russia, like playing in Russia. Yeah. I'm shocked it's not more. So yeah, I guess like 7.5, if you consider that is like a good decent deal. I mean, it's decent when you consider he's 40, he's plus 40 to Sporting already, you know.
So his peak was actually 35. My bad. 35 mil. We sold him for 40, and then he's gone down. He peaked a bit at West Ham.
Yeah, and then back down.
Locomotive, he stayed at 18, and then just Locomotive went to shit. And he's still to be fair, like to Sporting, I guess he's still.
If he had such a good season, he would have gone up this year more.
Honestly, if he gets called to the Euros, I think we're fucked in terms of like wanting to sign him even for 7.5 if he gets called to the Euros.
Yeah.
And the fact that I guess that's maybe what Sporting are playing on. Like he didn't get called to the Euros. They called up, old ass João Moutinho instead, and to basically play his position. And
pass it backwards guy.
Exactly. So I mean, but it is what you're saying. If they had an agreement for 7.5 and you give in a formal of 3.5, like that's pretty fucked up, man. It's a scummy move. But yeah, I don't.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Not from Hug Vienna, at least.
Okay, so we've got a couple more here. This one's been gaining steam heavily in the past couple days. So it was Ricardo Esgaio. That one was like the heavy one for months, but now it seems like Sporting is officially telling Braga to fuck off. They're not paying 10 or 6 for 50. They're just going to go for a cheaper alternative. And then that alternative appears to be Huddersfield City right back Pipa, who's also a Spanish U21 international as well. Second championship player linked to Sporting this window. But this rumor appears to be very real. What are your thoughts on this one?
He even came out to say his boy Porro is at Sporting.
Yeah, dude, I feel like Porro would be friends with basically anyone. So it doesn't shock me that someone that was like, oh, they played 4 games together for the U21s, they're friends. That's just
Yeah,
Poro.
that is true too. It's true too. But I think it was Ricardo that announced that. So maybe some more like it's been a bit more serious. I don't mind the move actually. Now that I looked at his stats, he had about I think 2 goals, 4 assists in 37 games around
Yeah.
there. Played on both flanks. Played mainly on the right and played mainly right back. But he also flirted with right winger as well. So seems like he's good to play that like right wing back role. Honestly, I think I agree with Richard. I agree with what Nando's been saying for the last year and a half. Let's stop. Okay, Paulinho, we have him. Let's stop doing deals with Braga and fucking getting them financially better. And let's fuck off. Like
Especially
these
a player
guys.
that literally like he was our player. Like
Exactly. And I like Ishgayu. I personally was sad to see him go because I thought he had a space on his team. I think he's doing really well for Braga. And I think he has a spot for us at Sporting as well, especially if Porto's sold this summer. Seeing as Porto's not going to be sold this summer, like, why are we wasting 10 or even 6 million on a backup right back? It doesn't make sense to me. Especially seeing as we're talking about João Mario, who I think is a big part of our midfield. We don't even want to waste more than 5.5 after objectives. Doesn't make sense why 5 to 6 million for each guy, in my opinion. Pipa seems like a good shout as a replacement. Wasn't familiar with him before. Admittedly, I haven't watched too much of his games. He could be shit for all I know. But as a backup for right now, not bad. I don't think so. At least from seeing the stats, from seeing the valuation, I think he's only
that
on
they're
the
not going
transfer
to play
market. It was
that much.
2.2.
Poro's a machine. As
Yeah.
long as he doesn't get injured, Poro is going to play like 85% of the games. So
Now the problem is he did fuck up his hamstring last game of the season, or against Boavista, I should say, not last game of the season. So maybe he does play a bit, Pipa in the beginning.
I always thought that Poro played too much last season, and they're lucky he didn't get hurt more.
For most of the season,
and honestly,
he was our only right back.
He did, because he literally was the only right back, and
exactly.
like he did have a stretch where he was out of form, and like that literally could have been just because like 90 minutes, like 20 weekends in a row, finally caught up to him. So yeah, it would be nice to have someone like actually playable to swap with him, because João Pereira, like he put in good minutes in the last game or whatever, but like he was not like a legitimate alternative.
I mean, that Benfica game, bro, like I love him, but come on, man, like we couldn't run him, you know?
So yeah, I think that's basically so Carlos Mané was also linked for a while. But he seems like that one's dead too. That one never really made sense because it was like to be like the backup Poro. Wild. So I guess the only other outgoing ones for Sporting, we talked about Luis, Max, Jovan. I mean, nothing concrete as far as like new, like English teams always sniffing around, but like nothing concrete or new. I'm sure if they get like 15, they'll probably sell him. I'm sure that he's one of the guys they're probably looking to sell because they feel like he like has decent value right now, and like he's like probably like not super critical to the team. Like that hopefully whoever's buying him doesn't like fully know the extent of like how he can't play 90 minutes, stuff like that. Because it's like, we all know it's like he's good enough to start and stuff, but like he just like he shouldn't. Nuno Mendes, again, like it's just every big team's interested. I guess it's just a matter of when and if Sporting gets the money that they want, and which of the top 10 richest teams in the world is the one that happens to be the one pulling the trigger. Because it could be any of them, to be honest. It seems like Man City, Man U, and Real Madrid are like the leaders, but you never know. Like fucking Liverpool could emerge at the last minute, or Barcelona, or any of them, So yeah, unresolved. New hot one, which actually seems like it's gonna get done, and it's gonna get done swiftly because my guy's in Merseyside right now doing other deals. Matheus Nunes is gonna go for the George Men's 20 mil to Everton, which is that's crazy. Like that one just like
to be honest, a good
George
deal.
went to work on that one, bro. Like It's going to be an insufferable day as far as like the Matheus Nunes vai pagar Ruben Amorim.
True.
So here's what's gonna happen.
Oh my god!
No, but here's what's gonna happen.
That.
Here's what's gonna happen. That's gonna be the running joke. It's too obvious of a joke, right?
Of course.
And it's gonna be true, or so you think. Of those 20 mil, what is Sporting gonna see? What Sporting will see will not pay for Ruben Amorim. So that's what the technicality is gonna be, because it's gonna be Matheus Nunes 20. Paid for Amorim for 14 or whatever, but it's like going to be like Sporting's going to get like 11.
How much in commission?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be 11 or 12 probably if it's 20.
Mind you, I don't think we even have 100%. It might be 90.
No,
I think Studio has the rest. Oh, is it okay?
Yeah,
okay.
We bought the full pass.
Okay,
but I mean, it's still good business, right? Because it's turning a 1 mil investment basically into or 1.5 mil investment into 12
to 18. Yeah, true. 18 in revenue, and then like
10 to 12 in direct profit. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's gonna. It's just it's a matter of how much, right? Because I've seen him. It's like 20%. I've seen him do 20%. But dude, the Porto kid, where he took like 46% commission. That was the most savage one to date. So yeah, we gotta hope that it's running closer to like the 20 to 25 range, not like 48. Because if it's like 18, then it's like we're talking 9. Like, come on, single digits. Fuck.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let me give me 12 and 12 in real value for Matheus Nunes. I mean, like, without Jorge Mendes, you're not getting 12 mil for him. So like, I guess thanks.
Yeah.
But I feel you. Juice box Liel. He's versatile. Can play multitude of positions. He's clutch. He's got the inexplicable clutch gene.
And with João Body leaving, like, that's another body leaving as well.
He would have played more, but business is the business, I guess. And I guess if you can sell the secondary guys for a lot, like Jovan and Matheus Nunes, like if you can sell the secondary guys, it like. If we have to lose Nunes basically to guarantee Pelinha, like I think that's a trade most of us would make,
100%. And if we can sell Matheus Nunes for 20, exactly into that same vein, what are we selling Pelinha in the future? What are we selling Pot in the future? It looks decent, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that was the last one. Yeah, I think that's the last one I wrote down.
Fair enough. So and transfer market is starting.
That's been since like the end of May. When the season first ended, bro, they were just fucking firing off names, bro. No one gave a fuck, dude. It was just a free for all of just random names.
A quick one that I just remembered. That,
dude, looking back on those two, like such bullshit.
How about this bullshit one that they were saying we're keeping? I think it was a baller. Saying we're keeping both Matheus Nunes and Matheus Reis, but we're selling fucking Antunes. Who the fuck are we selling Antunes to?
We're selling Antunes to like Al Ain for like 2 mil. Dude, that has calmed down because like when the season first ended, bro, that shit was out of control, dude. But now the names that are real are the names that stay in the news, so you can kind of figure out what's real and what's fake. So we'll keep tracking it. But I think that's our mid-June transfer rumor roundup.
Facts. And quickly, we're not going to go over the Portugal game necessarily, but we'll go back to the Euros. Basically, first round has just ended. Second round just started today. Italy with a big 3-0 win. Russia beating Finland 1-0. And who else played this morning? Wales. Yes, Wales beat Turkey 2-0. I had Turkey actually winning the group. I thought, this was going to be the shock. Everybody's saying this is the dark horses. I agreed it was the dark horses. They had Demiral. They have the kid from Leicester at center back. They have Chanaloglu. They have Yilmaz up top, who won the league with Lille. They are absolutely shitting the bed. I think the major talking point that I actually want to pick your brain on and ask you a quick question. Obviously, over the Denmark-Finland game, of course, we seen Similar scenes to what we saw back in 03-04 with Nicolas Feher. Luckily, a better outcome this time. I want to ask you about the TV coverage in a bit. My main question is, do you think the scheduling, the crazy scheduling that has happened because of COVID had anything to do with it? And do you think, looking forward as well in the future, should there be a bit more protocol, seeing as, our Supertaça, for example, July 31st. When was the last time? I can't remember.
It gets earlier and earlier every year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, last time I remember, season starts in August.
Used to be first week of August. No, I mean, it used to be like the third week in August. Then it was the second week in August. Then it was the first week in August. And now it's like, it's so early in the first week of August, it's literally in July.
I feel like the season has just finished and it's about to restart soon. I mean, the Euros are going to finish July 11th. That's the final, or July 10th. Supertaça, July 31st. That's what preseason do these players get?
Yeah,
I'm saying in terms of, and then in the end of 2022 is going to be the Qatar World Cup. So World Cup qualifiers are also being, paced at a rate that I've never seen before either. So these games are coming thick and fast, and with what happened to Christian Eriksen, I don't know whether it's related to all the games that have happened or not. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think FIFA, UEFA, fucking the Super League, should do something in terms of slowing this shit down, or is this a fucking oil machine that's gonna keep on kicking?
It's definitely been trending. It's just they make up new competitions for more games. It's they're only ever adding more teams so that there's more games, so that there's more to televise, and then there's more revenue. They're already dude. I mean, these guys already play too many games, and yeah, I don't know how they're gonna play less unless everyone just maybe they scrap it's an obvious solution, for example, is just
scrapping the League Cup.
But it's what does that scrap off? 5 games that backups are going to play anyways. That doesn't do anything, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a real solution. It's tough. Less teams in your Champions League, only 16 teams in Champions League, only 16 in Europa League. Europa League has so many rounds, round of 32. They have a whole another all the playoff games, 2 playoff if you start from round 1. It's just it's a lot of freaking games, and they start earlier and earlier. If you're playing in this Europa League fucking playoffs, dude, you start in June, literally.
There's a new Europa. I think the conference league is playing soon.
Yeah, that's going to be more games for even more random teams. So now if you're the 7th place team in Germany, you now have 6 more games you have to worry about that you didn't have to worry about before. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then hopefully, hopefully Philippe's right, where it was just a freak accident. But what were your thoughts on this?
It's definitely a freak accident he had this condition. It was always underlying, but extreme wear made it surface faster than it would have or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And what did you make of the TV coverage? I hear, obviously a lot of criticism. I guess what I've been seeing more so on the programs I watch on YouTube, mainly UK based, so it's criticisms towards the BBC. But I mean, in Canada,
is the criticism just that they were showing the field?
So I guess the criticism in general is that they didn't cut away in the first part. But then, 2, and I think it's a UEFA broadcast. I don't think it's necessarily the BBC or in Canada, TSN, or in the States, ESPN. Because they were showing his wife as well, crying. Schmeichel and the captain, Kyer, I think it's pronounced, or something like that, was consoling her and stuff. Which, I mean, in that case, it's scary. They were zooming in sort of to his face in the beginning to see what had happened. You kind of see his eyes, or him just not there.
Yeah.
You clearly see, even behind the players that are covering him, you see them ripping his or cutting his shirt off and using the defibrillator on him. You see his body jump. I seen his body jump, at least. That gave me the impression, or at least the CPR.
Yeah.
I mean, broadcasting, I think personally, it should have cut away. or at least did that zoom out when all the players were fucking covering it
because like
at that point, because he could have been dead, or he was dead for a second.
Yeah, no, like when they were showing, like once he was covered by like the towels and the flags, he was alive. But literally, when they were showing him at first, he was literally dead.
Yeah.
It's tough because like I know that there is like a 5-second delay between live and like actual live. So it's like if something like insane happens, they can cut it or whatever. Like this strikes me as one of those situations where it's like it seems like that would be appropriate. It's like they also like it's like my job. It's like our job is to just film this, like whatever's happening. Like like
100%.
We can't curate in it's real time like how severe this injury is. How severe is this heart attack? Like we don't even really know what happened. We just saw him fall over, and now there's bodies around him. Like what's happening? We want to find out, so we're taping it because you, viewer at home, want to find out. I mean, it's just like I understand the argument of like it's inappropriate to show him in that moment, but like, what's the argument against showing? I mean, the reason that they showed his wife was because his wife was down on the field. Like that is insane. Like I have never seen anything like that where like a family, literally anyone from the stands, period, down on the field interacting with players. Like that's why it was shown. They didn't scan through the crowd and like zoom in. That would have been fucked up and insane if they did that. But they did that because it was an insane occurrence, and like their job is to transmit the scenes to you. And like I would almost rather them show the other players than to show Eriksson on the ground, or I guess you could, like Richard said, cut to studio. But like, it's tough to cut to studio because they don't have anything to fucking say because they don't know what's happening. They're watching it at home, like you, being like, "What is good? This is crazy." So like, just hearing them say like, "This is crazy, man," like over and over again for 30 minutes, like it's not good TV, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
So
I agree with that. So one of the criticisms, the predominant criticism, is how they can quickly cut away when it's a fan running on the field, mind you. But my argument to that is it's a much lesser thing. It's easier to do, and more so, they just cut away to like
they're just showing
not
other
They're
showing other angles of the thing, which is basically what they were doing.
Which also what they did. Yeah. Exactly. They cut away far away so that you just see the players blocking it at one point. I think it's disgusting, the zooming in and stuff, and then the filming the wife. But like you were saying, like this is it's an occurrence that they're not necessarily used to. The other thing I say, which I think has to look at us sort of more as a society as well, is I didn't fucking turn my channel away. I was watching that shit wanting to know what the fuck was happening too.
Yeah.
What does that say? And I think majority of the people in the comments too, because I seen you fuckers on Twitter commenting it too. We didn't turn our channels off. Did we change?
If everyone was completely in the dark, like he falls down and we're in the studio. Like, so I guess this is like the best case scenario for the person that doesn't want it to be shown, right? You just see him because unlike Miklos Fair, like where it just happened like randomly off the ball, like the ball was thrown to him. He takes a touch and then he collapses. So it's not like he was all the way on the left wing and the camera wouldn't have seen him fall. Like the camera was going to be on him, period, because he had the fucking ball. And then he just falls over and then the camera cuts and it's the guys are in the studio like because now the guys in the studio are like, what the fuck is happening? You are no longer seeing what's happening. So now they're trying to relay to you what's happening, but they have no idea what's happening. They're not doctors. Like, even if you were, you've never seen anything like this in a game before. It's just like, I don't know if that would have been that good of a solution either. I mean,
exactly.
It would have been a good solution for like morality, but like the TV station's objective is not morality. It's, to generate views and content. Like guys in the studio dumbfounded and shocked, stunned, like horrified, like
which to itself is an issue.
It's unfair to like random studio guys to be like, someone just died, bro. Well, here's a camera right in your face. Like talk about it. Like that's an insane position to put the host in too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with the criticism when it comes to zooming into his face, especially seeing like, I think once you're a cameraman and you realize like guys fucking going through it, yo, zoom the fuck out right away. It was fucked up to kind of like, you know, you see a woman crying her ass off,
just
like
endless commercials. Like
yeah.
it's just more airtime for an hour of unexpected ad time. Like that's better than the host because the hosts have nothing to say. Like
exactly.
Rob just sat there in silence, just like hoping for the best, having no idea what's going on.
And I think the problem is too that it lasted for so long, but until they cut away. If that's like the first 5 minutes, they realize shit's going down and you cut it.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it'd be harsh to criticize them because at the end of the day, like this wasn't expected, you know, and maybe going forward there'll be protocol for this and you know, there's always something that's needed for shit to change. But I see both sides really. To be honest. And last on this one, what were your thoughts on dirty UEFA saying that they either play right after learning that he was okay, playing the next day, or forfeiting the match 3-0?
I am just glad that they were all able to talk to Eriksson and like confirm like proof of life, because like it would have been very, very, very unreasonable to expect them to go out and play without knowing a definitive outcome. And even if you do, like, we weren't able to save him, like, go back out there. Like, that's also a horrible situation.
I don't think that would have happened. I think they gave him that option because they figured, like, they realized after, like, okay, he's going to be okay at least, or he's stable.
Yeah.
But even still, those are fucked up options to give the players.
Yeah. And, I mean, would you put it past UEFA to lie and say, oh, yeah, he's stable? Like, get back out there, only to find out, like, they just, like, lied about that. But,
yeah,
I mean, it's typical. It's like, oh, we've got a schedule to keep. I did not think that they were going to play it that day. Like,
me neither.
I couldn't believe all the fans. I couldn't believe all the fans were still in the stadium like an hour and a half later, because I was just like just in my house doing random stuff. I'm like, all these, like, they're chanting. I'm like, is this from earlier? And they're showing the footage. And there's like, these people are still here, and they literally played it. I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Just trying to think of other
the gut punch of after all that, bro. You get one shot, one goal after all that. I felt so bad for the Danes.
Yeah, unlucky too, because they have that's another dark horse team. You know, like I was mentioning Turkey, but that team is stacked too. Midfield especially was even Eriksson not being there. They had that other kid that came on, Jensen, I think it is. He's a really good kid. They have a wonder boy. I forget his name. I don't know if it's Olsen. They have another good player there. They have Højbjerg. They have they have Christensen in the back. They have Kyer in the back. They have a decent team.
Yeah.
Schmeichel. I'm forgetting some players' names right now, but they have a really good team. You know, a team that can do some damage, especially in the group that they're in. So I'm rooting for them tomorrow to at least get a draw out of Belgium, and then you know they can beat the Russians, I think, and then make second that way. And I think they're playing at home tomorrow as well in Copenhagen. And it's also sad that it happened in Copenhagen. That's fucked up too.
Yeah.
Other talking points in the Euros, just quick thoughts. Is it coming home?
I hope.
1-0 to Croatia? No, I'm saying like England.
Oh, England? No, it's not coming home.
Yeah. I agree. They shat house. They a 1-0 win against Croatia. They played well. Foden hit the post. That Calvin Phillips dude he's a baller. I didn't watch too much of Leeds. Mariana's in the chat. I know Joan Castro especially would be happy with his Leeds boy. But a pleasant surprise. I hope he gets a big move out of that, because he is a baller.
It's crazy that he started.
Yeah, facts. Over the kid in Dortmund, Bellingham. I thought he would at least start. I know Henderson's injured, so I didn't expect him to start. But there's who else am I thinking of that could have started with him and Declan? Anyways, probably not important. Anyways, I guess it's just Bellingham. What else? I'm trying to think of another major thing that happened aside from Belgium won. Spain 0-0 to Sweden. Spaniard's not that great anymore, huh?
Yeah, dude, they've got a team full of bro. João Mario, bro, he would have been so good on that Spain team, bro. Just put him in there, get that pass count up. It was already pretty high, but there's always room for improvement. I think they just missed out on 1,000 passes. They were like in the high 800s. So maybe next game they try to get 1,000 passes.
Facts. And they were lucky not to even to tie that game.
Yeah.
Sweden missed a fucking wide open empty net. Like,
yeah,
incredible.
So hopefully Spain's like disappointment of the tournament. That'd be awesome.
Richard bringing up Czech Republic. Good point.
Czech Republic.
Ryan Goldless Scotland fucking up to Czech Republic. Schick or whatever his name is, Patrick Schick. I think he was of Roma or still is of Roma. Basically a goal from half. Probably goal of the tournament. What that versus the Yarmolenko goal against Netherlands? Which one wins for you?
Honestly, Yarmolenko for me, because the other goal, the shit goal is obviously great, but like, dude, David Marshall is so idiotically far out of his goal, dude.
This guy thinks he's Gita or something, bro. Playing futsal, like, get the fuck back there.
Yeah, dude, he was like in the circle, bro.
Yeah, incredible.
What is he up so far for?
They were down 1-0 at the point, but I mean, yeah, like I said, are they playing futsal? What the fuck is he doing?
Who does he play for? What championship team does he play for?
David Marshall. I want to say West Brom. No, West Brom's the Finland keeper, I think. David Marshall. Let's see. Keeper. Oh, there's a lot of David Marshalls in this world.
Darby, bro. Darby, dude. Stayed up in the championship on the last day of the season. Oh my god. I just need to know he's Scottish, and I know he plays in the English Championship.
Yeah, because if you don't play in Scotland, you basically play there.
Yeah, you either play for
Ryan Gauld, then you don't even get a look.
Well, that's why he's not allowed, bro. Like,
yeah. Maybe now that Fedin's dropped, we'll go to the.
Yeah, dude. He needs to secure a move to Luton Town to have a chance to really shine.
The Bristol.
He'll notice. So pros, have a chance to make to Scotland. Cons, live in Midlands instead of the Faroe.
Facts.
No hate on random parts of England. Sorry, it's just come on. Even if you live in a random part of England, you probably wish you lived in Faroe. Because I wish I lived in Faroe. So,
bro, it fucking rained. I was in England for like a week. It rained the whole fucking time. It was in like June or July. Horrible weather. Last thing to close off the show, dude. Predictions. I know we did it earlier, but predictions against Germany, and mainly who would you have in that starting 11?
So I'm gonna say 0-0 draw, and the starting 11 is gonna be the same, except I would maybe take Danilo out, move. I guess you just run it back the same starting lineup. It doesn't make sense. They'll probably be up against it, yeah.
Yeah, this lineup makes more sense against Germany than it did against Hungary, to be honest. I agree. Same starting 11, and I agree with a draw, but I'll go with a 1-1. We're gonna lead 1-0, and then they're gonna get one back. But let's hope for a dub, bro. That's the pod.
A dub and we're through.
A dub and even a draw and we're through. Let's be real. A draw and we're through.
Probably.
It just depends then if second, third, or first. But at least 6 points will put us in second or first, at least. But second would be tough because we're probably going to face England.
True.
Anyways, that's the pod. We'll probably be back after the Germany game. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It was lively towards like the transfers and stuff. Appreciate every single one of you. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff, YouTube. We'll see you guys soon. Viva Sporting, and in this case, Viva Portugal. Força, boys.
Go sick.